What's up, guys? Got another video for you here today. Tesla, the company, had an amazing year. Tesla, the stock, had a pretty horrible year. We are in a recession. It was the sixth worst year in the S&P's history, and inflation at highs they haven't seen in 40 years. Real estate's down. So I think it did amazing, close to 50% growth in revenue. We'll see for sure the numbers on January 25th when Q4 earnings come out. And I still believe that Tesla can grow at about 50% this year in 2023. If they get up to 2 million cars, which their production rate is already pretty close to 2 million, I think they can get there. 2 million times average sell price of 50,000 puts them at 100 billion in revenue. Add in the Lathrop factory at a production of 10,000 megapacks per year, times an average price of 2 million, which some of them are a little bit more, it could be more than that, but 2 million times the 10,000 puts them at 20 billion in revenue. So add those two together, you get 120 billion in revenue, which puts them right at about the 50% growth for 2023. So I think even in a recession, they're still looking at growing close to 50% this year. And I think into the future, once we get full self-driving, gets finalized and gets even better and better, and people start learning, I think it's just going to be a no-brainer for people to switch to Teslas. Also, the world is transitioning towards electric cars, whether you like it or not. And the cost of maintenance, the safety, once people start realizing and seeing the change that the world is going through, people are going to make that switch towards Tesla. And I was listening to some Peter Lynch. He got me into investing when I read his book, Learn to Earn, right when I got out of high school. And then I read his next book, One Up on Wall Street. And I completely recommend them. They really make investing very simple and just approachable. There's so many people that are kind of like scared to get into investing, and they'd rather give it to a money manager when you have a lot of insight yourself, whatever industry you're working on. And it just helped me kind of gain some confidence and realize I can do this on my own. And I've been investing ever since. So a rule of thumb that he gave in his book is if its PE is similar to its growth rate over the projected growth rate over the next 3 to 5 years. So Tesla has talked about growing at around 50% per year. Some years it's going to be less, some years it's going to be more. So in a recession, Tesla is growing right at around 50%. I think that, to me, kind of shows that I can trust that they're going to continue growing. Right now, they're sold about 1.3 million cars this past year, and their goal is to get to 20 million cars by 2030. So they still have insane growth ahead of them, and I really trust their goals. I haven't doubted Elon since they had reusable rockets with SpaceX. And I trust them with FSD, and I trust them with Tesla. So I do believe that they can go at 50% per year. So a 50 PE, like you said, would be a fair value for a company growing at 50% per year. So if we look at my chart, 2021, they did 55 billion in revenue. And we'll find out in 10 days on January 25th if they can get around that 50% growth for 83 billion for 2022, which is just remarkable to grow at 50% during a recession when the S&P has the sixth worst drop in the past 100 years. So, and the Tesla stock dropped close to 75% while growing at 50%. That's just a huge disconnect. And all that signals is an amazing time to get in as an investor. So Tesla stock doing horrible. Tesla, the company, is just thriving. The company growing at 50% per year should be trading at around a 50 PE based on what Peter Lynch said. And he's one of the greatest investors of all time, averaged close to 30% for around 15 years managing money. So I kind of trust him. And with Tesla growing at 50% per year, my price target for Tesla for 2020, by the end of 2023, is about 335. I know I'm the Tesla hyperbole. There's some people that have way higher price targets than me, but I think it's just pretty fair just going off these numbers. One of the best investors ever. A company should be trading, its PE should be similar to its growth rate. And if they do grow at 50% this year, I think it's pretty fair for them to be around $330 per share. But so if we look for, if they grow at around 40%, a fair price would be at around 290. And for at a 40%, they'd have a trade at a 40 PE, and that would give them a price target of 233, which is still a double from where we are today. And if they grow at 30% and they have a 30 PE, 150 would be the fair price for the stock at the end of 2023. So I'm definitely way closer to believing that it's going to be closer to 50% and trading at around a 50 PE. Right now, Tesla has half the PE of Amazon. Amazon's at about an 80 PE and Tesla's below 40 PE. And just look at the companies like growth rate and revenue. One company is growing, one company is starting to get stagnant. I still believe Amazon is going to succeed and grow their revenues into the future, but I think the company that's going to have the best growth company in the stock market is Tesla right now. So I'd pick for 2023, my price target is around 334. And like I said, how can they get to this 50% growth? 2 million cars, the ramp up of Giga Berlin, Giga Texas, 2 million cars per year, at an average price of 50,000. I know they just lowered their cost, but I think with FSD is around 15,000, and Model S, Model X, Model Y is still 56. Then the base prices are a little bit lower now, but I think once you get add-ons and different things like that, I think it's fair to be right around that 50,000. And the big thing for Tesla is the Megapack factory in Lathrop, California. They're already close to a run rate of 10,000 megapacks per year, and they're priced anywhere from 1.8 million to 2.4 million based on how much megapacks that you buy. So I'm giving it an average price of 2 million. So 2 million times the 10,000 gives it a 20 billion. So right there, it's pretty much seems like they can get to 50% growth at 120 billion in revenue for 2023. And that, it's not that insane to think that they can do that. Even right now, they did 440 in production in Q4, and that was with different shutdowns in China, I think, and they haven't ramped up Berlin and Austin. So I think as it starts to ramp up more and more and more throughout the year, and they start excelling in those two new factories, I think it can get close, that they will grow a lot. But let's see, 440 times 4. They're already at a production rate of 1760, 1.76 million cars per year. They basically, to get to 2 million is what, let's see. Yeah, so they basically need to only increase their automotive production by around 15%. In Q4, they produced 440,000 cars in the quarter. That's a production rate of about 1.76 million cars. If they grow up 15% this year in automotives, that puts them at 2 million cars. So I think it's very fair to say that they can produce over 2 million cars this year. Could be well over 2 million, depending on how fast they can ramp, getting the batteries and different stuff like that. But I think it's pretty fair to say that they can do well over 2 million. So getting to the 50% growth rate, depending on the average cost, I think 50,000 is also fair. It looks like a 50% growth rate for 2023. And if they continue to do that into the future, this is why I'm just super bullish on Tesla. You continue at this 50% growth. 2024, you have a $500 price target, and then getting into 2024, $500, and then for 2025, a $752 price target. That's a 7 times from today. In a couple years. Please comment a bigger growth company, or company growing faster that's going to have better margins than Tesla. I'm dying to learn of these companies, and when FSD comes out, the margins and the value of this company is also going to skyrocket. Also, as people start to see that it's much more than an automotive company and more of a battery tech company. There's so much potential in this company. That's why I call myself the Tesla Hyperbole. I couldn't be more optimistic. I talk to people and they're like skeptical on Tesla. Just a lot of people have, when a stock's going down, lose confidence. They're too emotional, and they follow, just the swing of how the stock market's doing. Oh, because Tesla, the stock is crashing, the company must be doing horrible, but they don't go out and do their own research. But when the company's doing amazing and you see it going on, it's up 10% today, it's up, they start to get emotional and all positive about, oh my God, I must be doing something amazing. The stock market is irrational. It does not resemble what the company is doing. Like I said, the stock fell close to 75% this year, while growing at 50% this year. That doesn't make any sense. I guess it's just a positive time, and it's just time to just load up, and it's an amazing opportunity for retail investors. They say, millionaires and billionaires are made during these recessions. After it just grows. Apple is almost 75 times since the last recession, and I think we could get a similar thing, if we go into recession for the next year or two, and then that ramp up and people realizing, oh my God, Tesla's been growing like crazy while the stock market hasn't valued it yet. It could be the greatest time for an investor, especially if you're young, if you want to retire. I don't want to get into, hypotheticals, but to me, I believe I'm going to retire on Tesla. And I think within 10 years, they'll start giving out dividends. They're going to be making too much cash that they're going to have to pay out their investors, and just living off dividends for Tesla. People that are kind of like skeptical on Tesla, and people in the comments saying Tesla's going well below 100. To me, that excites me. Just buy more stock. It's below 100, and based on how much they're growing, that just means it's more irrational, and you can get it at a lower price. My price targets for 2023 are 334, 2024 is 500, and then 752. So it going below $100 just can lower my cost average and grow my money by even more. And the more I get into there, if I can get that 7 times, that's life-changing. It's a life-changing company. Elon has, in my opinion, the greatest, vision and he's the greatest entrepreneur that's ever lived. If you can think of someone better, please share it. But I'm just very optimistic on this. It doesn't bother me that the company's dropping. You just buy more. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Sean. I'm the Tesla Hyperbull, and I'll see you guys next time.